I am Amod Bidhuri, a lawyer, a citizen, a constitutionalist. We live in a rights obsessed world. Rights get headlines, rights fire up protests, rights we assume are the boundary of our freedom. But rights alone are hollow. Rights without dharma become entitlement. Duties without rights become tyranny. Today we face a deeper question. Can a republic truly flourish on rights alone, or do we need duties to anchor the constitution to the citizen? Welcome to episode 4 of India at 100, how constitutional dharma can shape the next world order. Let's begin with the West. The US, the EU, most liberal democracies have a strong architecture of rights. Right to free speech, right to privacy, right to due process, right to protest, right to information. But what they lack is a moral architecture of duties. The result: free speech decays into trolling and abuse. Privacy becomes a shield for data exploitation. Individualism is celebrated, but civic virtue is absent. Citizens are trained to defend their rights, but rarely trained to contribute to society. There is a growing sense of entitlement, but a shrinking sense of civic responsibility. This is not freedom, this is a crisis of civic identity. And here's the thing: a democracy without duties is just a marketplace of demands, not a nation. Part 2 is about India's constitutional balance, that is, rights and duties. India chose a different path. Our constitution enshrines fundamental rights in Article 14 to 32. Right to equality, right to speech, right to life and liberty, right to constitutional remedies. But it also embeds fundamental duties in Article 51A. Let me read you a few. To abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals, to cherish our freedom struggle, to uphold sovereignty and integrity, to protect the environment, to promote harmony among all the people, to value scientific temper, to strive for excellence, to safeguard public property, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, and more. These are not suggestions, they are not sermon notes, they are the sole contract between citizen and the constitution. Now critics will say duties are non-justiciable, they are not legally enforceable. True, but they are morally binding, and in a democracy, sometimes morality builds stronger foundation than law. Part 3 is about right versus duties, the real debate. Let's break this down. What are the strengths of fundamental duties? First, they act as a civic compass. They shape citizen character. They remind us that freedom comes with responsibility. Second, duties are culture builders. When schools read them in morning assemblies, when judges refer to them in judgments, they begin to shape civic habits. Third, they help courts balance competing rights. In environmental cases, public safety cases, national integrity matters, courts often lean on duties to justify limits on absolute freedoms. But there are weaknesses too. Duties are not enforced by courts, they depend on voluntary compliance. There is no institutional training to internalize them, and most citizens don't even know what they are. When was the last time you heard anyone quote Article 51A? Now here's the paradox. Rights without duties breed chaos. Duties without rights breed authoritarianism. We need both, and India, unlike most democracies, has both. That's our constitutional genius. Part 4 is about the duties for the future: environment, digital age, and civic education. Let's look forward. First, the environment. Article 51A G compels citizens to protect nature. Courts have used this duty to expand environmental jurisprudence. Pollution, deforestation, climate change, all now seen as citizen responsibilities, not just state obligations. Second, the digital age. We need a new civic duty to verify information before sharing, to respect digital privacy, to not weaponize free speech through fake news. This is the digital interpretation of constitutional duties. Third, civic literacy. If duties are the foundation, then schools and law colleges must teach them like sacred mantras, not just legal facts, but constitutional ethics. We need to produce citizen guardians, not just passive voters. Part 5 is India's model for the world. Let me end with this. New democracies in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America often import rights from the West, but they import them without the civic roots. What India offers is a blueprint where rights are protected but duties are cultivated. That's how we avoid both chaos and tyranny. We should export this model. We should share this civic framework with the world through diplomacy, civic education, and constitutional fellowships. Because India doesn't just need to defend democracy, we need to redefine it. Let me leave with you with one truth. Rights without dharma create entitlement. Duties without rights create tyranny. The genius of Indian constitution lies in holding both together in tension, in balance. That is what I call civic dharma, and that is the soul of our republic. In the next episode, we will go deep into the directive principles of state policy, the silent revolutionaries of the constitution. If you believe India can offer something deeper to the world, then share this. Think with me, reflect with me, and join the journey. This is India at 100, Constitutional Dharma and the Next World Order. Let the hearing continue. Thank you.